And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean, baby, it's time for GotBot Goes live. Saddle up, strap yourself in. This is going to be a fun ride. We have news tonight from threezero and Newage. We're going to have a couple of notes about some of the TFCon Orlando exclusives, as well as some news coming out of NYCC that also just happened. We are going to be talking about not only the first Transformers Rise Reactivate 2-pack of Bumblebee and Starscream, but I'm going to tell you what the next one is going to be as well. And I'm going to let you know when the pre-orders and all of that sort of stuff is supposed to start for all of that. We're going to talk about some rumors for Transformers 1. We're going to play trivia. And of course, we're going to do this week's unboxing, courtesy of our buddy Ultra Megatronus, as well as Starscream wife herself. So, without any further ado, I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. I'm going to get things just set up here. I hope you guys are having a tremendous Thursday. Of course, I always hope that for you guys, don't I?
Did you say my name?
Yes. Because I said that the unboxing tonight was courtesy of Ultra Megatronus and Starscream wife. And it is. First things first, I didn't go back and show well, I'm not going to go back and show this, but I was curious. You know, last week I had as the unboxing Nightshade from Earthspark, and he comes with the torso of Mandroid. Well, I'm not in for all of the Earthspark deluxes. However, I happen to have the torso, the head, and the backpack. So my Mandroid currently looks as horrific as this. Like, the dude could like walk around, and too bad these don't have an elbow. Like, he could walk around on them, and then he can like grab things and be like, "I'm a limbless monster." Like, it's very Halloweeny, right? Like, Mandroid is very Halloweeny. Just one. I don't know. I have no idea why I showed you guys that, other than it's weird, and I thought it was cool because it's weird. Hey Waspinator, hey Joel, hey Marcus, hey Darren. I've now realized why you hated Rise of the Beast. I can't imagine any reason why you would. None. But whatever. I don't want to get on Rise of the Beast again. It is the best live action film they've done in terms of technical standpoint. Now, I'm not going to say that there's things that you wouldn't prefer other ways and stuff, but none of the other movies that they've done can come close to the cleanliness of Rise of the Beast. And I've said it a bunch of times. If you hate it, then I'm sad for you. You might as well give up on the live action movies, because you're not going to get better. And that's all that I'm going to say about it. Hey, Tens, day before Friday. Hey, Vector. Hey, Dragonfly. Hey, Marcus. Okay, let's get into the news. I want to start things off, actually, with some notes that are not about Transformers. And these are very quick. It's just a couple of things that came to, like, my ear. So I'm going to kick that off first and get that right out of the way. First, October the 27th will be a Pulse Premium event. I'm sure Transformers will be there. I don't see the point of this. The people that run those things are unwatchable. Like, they're unwatchable. If you believe anything that comes out of any of their mouths, then I don't know, man. I got some magic beans for you. Like, none of them are sincere. I thought Warden was bad, but at least you could sort of, like, he was a shill, but at least you could believe like he had a passion. I struggle with Mark. I think the guy in his heart and soul does have a passion, but it doesn't come across. It comes across as you're trying too hard. So whatever. We'll see what comes out of it. I'm sure there will be some new reveals, probably the new HasLab for the 40th anniversary. Also of interest is, I gotta believe, the MOTU Ninja Turtles thing. Like, that's Ninja Turtles done as Masters of the Universe is a cool crossover. I don't know if that's Mattel Creations. I don't know if it's just coming out as a line or what it is. It's not my, it was a like just something I saw that I thought was cool, but like that's it, right? The 12-inch Duke that was unveiled, I think that looks really cool. I don't think the face sculpt was nailed. I feel like the eyes and the eyebrows are off, but it does look very real, and for that I respect it. And it very much harkens back to the 12-inch GI Joes of like the 1960s, right? That original, Joe Colton GI Joe of the 60s. It's definitely for the hardcore Duke collector or the hardcore traditional, very traditional GI Joe collector, but it's a nice way to tie it to a real American hero, right? And I think the Super 7 mothership is shaping up to be something really special at like 32 and some odd inches. I mean, the thing's about 3 feet wide. Obviously, because it would work with the Super 7 Joes, it would work with your regular 3 3/4 inch GI Joes as well, from like the main line or whatever. In fact, some of what's being offered, not only there, but I think coming out of, I want to say NYCC with like the 5-pack and whatnot, they are delving into doing some O-ring 3.75 offerings. Now, I've seen the like very minimal points of articulation offerings, and like they look good. The molding is good. The paint is great, but like, come on, you can't bend a knee, you can't bend an elbow, you can't do a T pose, you can't do splits. You're a soldier. How are you going to do that with no knees, no elbows, or anything? Like I don't know. But I do think the mothership looks like something very special. I've heard that it's a thing that Super 7 is doing where you're going to need backers. I heard 4,000 backers, and different tiers and all of this sort of stuff. Very HasLabby, but I don't know how it's exactly being offered. So I haven't looked into it, but if you're in for it and you know the price and stuff, hey, let me know what the price and stuff is. I believe it got to be expensive, right? I feel like I heard something like 495 US, which is a bonkers amount. But I feel like that this will be the Cobra version of like the flag, basically, right? That Cobra mothership. So just a couple of things there that had nothing to do with Transformers. Getting into Transformers, I'm going to note both of this now so I can actually get rid of this piece of paper here. The first thing I want to note is that threezero showed off their M Deluxe comic Megatron. Of course, I, being a cartoon guy, don't think it looked that great. Not compared to their regular Megatron. It's, again, the regular Megatron is still stylized. You would know it's Megatron for sure. This one seems to have more black on the shins. It, of course, has the black helmet, little less silver, a little more black highlights. I think the fusion cannon on his arm might be shaped a little differently, possibly a little differently, and it might not. I'm not 100% sure. Here's the thing. While I would certainly favor the more, what's the word I'm looking for? The more traditional animation, cartoon accurate look for Megatron. I think that if you're trying to go for the comic look, this nails it pretty nicely with the right details in the right places. It wouldn't be for me. You'd have to be a comic collector, but you know what? More power to the comic collectors. Obviously, being threezero, this does not. Where is that? Hold on. Obviously, being threezero, this does not transform, but it is hyper detailed with a ton of paint and a bunch of articulation. Like 45 points of articulation, actually. And it's going to stand 7 inches, so it's a solid Voyager class Megatron. Personally, if there's any character that I think the non-transforming thing works fine for, I think it's Megatron. I don't really think he needs to transform as long as you have something that can serve as him in his like Walther P38 mode, right? Like if you saw the countdown on Monday, then you know that somewhere on that list is Megatron, and he's holding himself technically, right? Not to give a spoiler, but I mean, come on, come on, come on. How could he not look cooler in his alt mode, right? Anyway, that being said, I think that that's neat. I think that they've done justice to it. And the M Deluxe being 7 inches, I mean, these are their like cheaper ones. I think in Canada, I want to say it's about 60, maybe $70. Like it's still expensive, but when you see it in hand, you understand it. Even I understand it. And you guys know how hard I am when it comes to pricing and stuff. But when I saw it and I saw the price, I was like, yeah, that seems about right. That makes sense for what's gone into this. That makes sense. Earthspark showed off a couple of things. Namely, they showed off their Prowl, their deluxe Prowl that looks awful. Awful. Looks nothing like the animation that is on the package, where he does have his traditional chest like stuck out. His door wings are behind him. His head has two large red crests going up. And then I looked at what we were getting as a deluxe, and I'm like, man, the chest is down flat. It looks more like a sports car Lambo, and the lights seem to be like on the hood. His shins seem to have lights, and worst of all, the head looks very, very much just like, to me anyway, the head of the Beast Hunters deluxe smokescreen. Like, it looks like that head, except where the like eyebrows are up above the head, the crest section was painted blue on that. I think on this one's painted red. I'm like, that looks nothing like the animation. And then I saw that it's not even a new mold. Much like with Shockwave, this is just a deluxe Cyberverse hot rod redecoed to be Prowl. And I don't think it's a very good job. I don't like it. Then we have deluxe class Thrash. And I was curious about that guy. So what do I like about the deluxe class? Very first thing I like is that his feet are not green. His feet, and in fact, his lower legs are more like, I don't want to say gray. It's more of an off-white color. The complete thigh is green, where I guess that's okay, but I do miss the silver detail. There is a bronze detail up on the hips, but not down on the knees. This one has the detail on the knees. The tires on the deluxe got bronze inside instead of just being left black, which is accurate. The head here has a gold on it instead of a bronze. I like the gold, but the bronze is certainly more accurate. The upper arms here are green. The arms on that are green. That one, however, does have a hinge swivel to accomplish the elbow bend and the bicep. I think it has wrists, and I think the hands are also that like tealy greeny color. They both have a waist. I feel like the torso is largely the same for them. Certainly out to the side, they both have that. The deluxe has a dedicated thigh swivel. This one just has like a thigh wiggle at the ball peg up here. So dedicated thigh swivel is nice. I like the knees here. I feel like the new one might have limited knee articulation. It does, however, have an ankle rocker, which I very much like. What it doesn't have is the sidecar. Now, some people might say, great, because putting the sidecar on going to motorcycle mode is a nuisance. However, yours truly, I want the sidecar because in the cartoon, he has the sidecar. So I don't want something that looks like it mimics the sidecar on his arm that you put like behind the seat as a saddlebag or something. I want the sidecar. I think the deluxe is neat. I think the off-white color is the wrong choice. I think the gray is the better choice. I'm glad I have this one. I don't think I'm in for the deluxe. It's not quite the right bike. I feel like the shades of colors are a little off for my liking. I think I actually prefer the cheaper Warrior class there. But that being said, I do think that the Thrash does look very, very nice. So if you're thinking, hey, I don't really like this one, or it was too simple, or I wanted this, that, or the other thing, maybe getting the deluxe one is, in fact, the way to go. Plus, this guy was, I don't know, $7, $8, $9 cheaper. So I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this. Happy to have it. Don't think I'll be replacing it. Time will tell. Let's see if I ever see it on the shelves, right? Maybe my mind will be changed when I see it in person, but I'm not planning on it. Let me put it to you that way. And that's it for that page. Let's go over here. And I'm going to do the two of these, and then I'm going to check in with you guys. Metagate showed off their Red Fantasy. And Red Fantasy is their take on Bumblebee movie Shatter, with all three modes, a true blue triple changer. This one will stand at 28 centimeters tall and accomplish all three modes. I can tell you it looks like a great robot. It looks like a great plane, and it looks like a great car. I think the colors on the plane are probably the most stylized, I suppose. The car is very good, and the robot is very good. But I feel like the wings, on the underside of the wings, it's a little plain. And then in plain mode, I feel like there's a little too much red and should be maybe more gunmetal gray. However, that being said, the plane looks like a very cohesive, nice looking plane. The car looks like the muscle car it's supposed to be. And the robot looks like the robot. if you took, say you know both Studio Series versions of Shatter. If you took the automobile version, not that robot with the automobile, that Studio Series 40 was, the robot was hot garbage. But if you took that vehicle mode, and then you took the Jet Shatter, and took that jet and that robot mode and mashed them together with the car, this is kind of what you would get from Metagate, and it looks really, really, really good. Very impressed. It comes with a display base, 4 missiles, a blaster. I mean, good outing by Metagate. Good outing. Impressive outing. TFCon Orlando. The first of the exclusives there will be Make Toys Slipstream, basically. Limited to 300 pieces at a price of $159.99. I'm pretty sure this is MP scaled. Was it Make Toys that done Meteor, which was that like widely renowned Starscream? This looks like a conehead version of that. Actually, it looks like a thrust version because the VTOLs are on the wings. Although there isn't a conehead, it's just a regular head. Nice looking Slipstream. It's in Slipstream colors. I think the VTOLs might be a little bit of a different take, but I'm not angry about it at all. I think it's a great take on Slipstream. It's amazing how she always and forever seems to be an exclusive of some sort. Anyway, it is what it is. And Battle Chargers Scourge is out in the US. One of these gimmicky Rise of the Beast junk things. If you like gimmicky Rise of the Beast junk, I don't know, buy it, I guess. Let's check in with you guys before I get going with some news here from New York Comic-Con. Let's move up here a bit and check you guys out. And I know you've been saying some stuff, so I know I've been missing some stuff. Hey, Caldeo. Hey, Maximal 10. Hey, Marcus. Getting over being sick. Oh, Dragonfly, I hope you feel better. By the way, before I go on here, and I didn't do it at the top of the show, which I normally do, but let's take a moment of silence, shall we, for the late, great Suzanne Summers. She succumbed earlier this week to, I believe it was cancer, sadly, at the age of 76, one day before her 77th birthday. I was a fan of Step by Step. I was certainly a fan of Three's Company. And come on, who wasn't a fan of the Thigh Master, man, back in the day? That thing made millions of dollars and sold a lot of units. But the late, great Suzanne Summers, a moment of silence for her before we move on. Okay, let's go down through here. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Big M. Hey, Tens, if I didn't already say it, buddy. Michelangelo as Orko. Michelangelo as Orko. That's so good. Oh, that's so good. Hey, Lance. Good week. It's been a busy week, but it's been a really good week. Started off so rainy here. We had a ton of rain, but beautiful today. Really nice, really seasonable. Tomorrow's Friday. Hard to be angry, buddy. Hard to be angry. Hey, Mercenary. I don't know why you said Russian soldier with a question mark. Russian soldier because of the no elbows, no knees. Yeah, it could have been Red Army, I suppose. I got you now, buddy. I got you now. Like with Super 7 Bludgeon, there is an audience for. Yeah, I mean, listen. I know a location right now where I've been eyeballing the Super 7 Bonsai-tron. But I feel like he's just a little bit too bulky, maybe. So I don't know. And it's pricey. So I'm actually looking to find something or waiting to see if it cuts in price a bit. And you know what? They've done like the Ultimates G.I. Joes too, like those Super 7 Ultimates G.I. Joes too. And they're big, but they're pretty great too. You know, they're pretty great too. Hey, Triple R. I'm curious, Triple R. How many of those Troop Builder 4-packs do you want? I know you never have enough Seekers, and since that got a Seeker in, I'm just curious. Yeah, the Prowl looked horrible. I agree with you, Tens. I was like, I would never in a million years guess that's Prowl. You know what it looked like to me? It looked like Beast Hunter's smokescreen cosplaying as a police officer. That's what it looked like to me. It didn't even look like Hot Rod to me. It was just bad. Yeah, I get it. I mean, and the thing is, the reason I say that about the smoke screen is because honestly, I forgot that there was a deluxe Cyberverse Hot Rod. I don't know if I ever looked at it or saw it. I saw the sea of red when the pictures came out and said that's an awful looking Hot Rod, and never looked back. That was the end of it. So I don't know. I don't even know if he ever came here. So it was a mold I wasn't really familiar with. Hey, Bing Bong. Hey, Blue. Who all here watched the Toys That Built America? Was very informative on Transformers and GoBots. No, I heard about it. I don't even know if we have the History Channel anymore, let alone that show. So, but I heard about it, and people seem to say it was a good show. So I don't know. I've never heard of it. So apparently it's in season 3. Who knew? Who knew? Looking at the deluxe class Prowl kind of reminds me of I don't know who Checkpoint is. Sorry, I don't know who that is. Oh, Blue. I tell you, you're gonna make my wife really angry. Keep doing that. You got to stop, man. I love the holidays, but it's too much. Too much. Don't do it until it's like 30 or less. I would like it. Would I buy the deluxe Thrash if it showed up at Dollarama? For sure, I would. Hey, Sovereign. Hey, Jay. Actually, I'm going to make one other note. And okay. And I'll get to that in a minute. Very interesting note I just made that I'll get to in just a moment. I want half of the 4-pack, Seeker. And how are you going to get half of the 4-pack? It's a 4-pack. Hey, Grimlock Gun. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. Did you show her the Google Docs Starscream Wife Christmas story I sent last year? I'm going to say no because I don't know what you're talking about, Blue. So I'm going to have to say no because I don't. If I saw it again, maybe, but right now you're asking me something from last year, dude. I don't remember last week. I assure you, I don't remember last year if I showed her something. I'm sorry. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I don't. Hey, Joseph. By the way, Joseph's grandmother has been sick, so let's all send some positive vibes her way, shall we? Finished getting a starter on a 1998 Camaro. Wouldn't have a clue how to do it. Wouldn't even be able to guess. But my cousin, he would know, and I mean, he's done stuff like that. But more power to you. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I wouldn't even know what it looks like. I don't know what a starter looks like. Not my thing. I can't do tools. I just can't do it. I want the Auto Trooper for my Nova Prime army. Fair. One of my targets had 10 of those packs. Wait. One of my targets had 10 of those 4-packs. Yeah, and I got a feeling that there'll be a few of them around, to be honest with you. Hey, no. All right. I'm going to get back into the news here, but let's do NYCC. Then I'm going to get to my interesting note. Actually, it's a note thanks to Ultra Megatronus. So NYCC, that happened. They had a bunch of Robeson stuff there on display. Really, really highlighted the various Optimus Primes being their big one, and then their smaller one that's like their big one, and then the gold one, and then the Rise of the Beast one. There was also a Grimlock and a Bumblebee on hand. I don't care because I don't respect or trust Robeson anymore. I'm done with that company. Funko Freddy is being done as Soundwave. or was done as Soundwave. That was an exclusive. Apparently, there are 4,000 pieces altogether for the regular version and 500 pieces for the metallic version. So I don't know if you're into Funko Pops and you want a Soundwave Funko Freddy. I guess you had to go to NYCC. Plus, at NYCC, there was an 11-inch Super 7 Claire Cyborg Optimus Prime. There's been a lot of these like 7-inch, very limited articulation, but like the whole chest comes off and you can see like their guts and inner workings and gears and stuff. Well, imagine all of that done in Claire, because that's what they did. So neat, I guess. Antagony and G1 Skywarp are out in Canada. Antagony's been out here for a while, but so now is G1 Skywarp. As well was reported Swoop and Scar, both out in Canada. And the Troop Builder 4-pack has been seen at Toys R Us in Canada as well. So again, a whole bunch of stuff. XM Studios, they showed off their Prowl statue. This is at the 1/10th scale, so this is pretty big. In fact, it's 86 centimeters big. He comes with an alt head. He has display options with a baton and a rifle and a shield or a rocket launcher. A lot of display options. 149 units. That's it. Very, very limited piece. $1,166.73 US. So almost $1,200 US for this statue. Remember, it's not something, it's not going to transform, it's not going to move. It's a statue. You need to be a serious Transformers fan and a very serious art collector to get this. Does it look splendid? Yes. Does it look $1,200 American splendid? No. No, it doesn't at all to me. But I mean, to each their own. It's made from polystone. It has LED eyes. There's also the RC option. That's the one where she can have her rifle or not. She can have her red visor on or just her eyes. We've all seen a lot of images of this statue of RC. Super hyper detailed. All of the black line panel detailing and stuff. And she's for the low, low price of $947.85 US. I mean, I don't know how many Transformers fans there are that are into these high-end statues. I mean, they must sell because the companies keep making them. But I cannot fathom anyone that would ever come to me and be like, for Transformers or anything for that matter, and be like, yeah, it's a statue. Oh, yeah, cool. How much was that statue? $1,000 American. What? No. No. Dude, that would literally be more than my mortgage payment for a statue. I mean, no. They're impressive to see, but I think it's nonsensical to make them. I really think it's silly to make them. And I'm going to say it, and it's going to be unpopular, but if you spend the money on this, you deserve to have your money taken because no. That's all. Just no. Again, she's only 149 units. She's 82 centimeters high. I know they're great, but like, I'm baffled, man. $1,200 for a Prowl statue. Let that sink in. Let's move on. Newage showed off 2 more variants of their Legends class. Swoop. Last week they showed off the clear one and the like unreleased G2 colors one. This time it was the Shattered Glass, which Input said looked like a version of Swoop as Death Source. I can sort of see it. And the comic version, which has the red chest, but instead of kind of having some of the other colors like on his head and on his leg stuff, there's like this kind of cool blue that's supposed to be like a gray or a black, but the comics sorted on it as blue. Neat, I guess. They look good. We all know how Newage is. They paint the high hilt out of their molds, and you can't really blame them, I suppose. Legacy Cyberverse Windblade. We saw more images of that when Mark done one of his spiels. I mean, almost separating himself into 2 marks through what is that? Mitosis, osmosis. I don't remember which one it is. I haven't done science in a long time, but like I can't read. I can't even read his stuff. It's so hard. It's so hard to get through his stuff. But I do think that this Windblade is a very interesting amalgamation of a number of, she's definitely Cyberverse. There's no doubt about it with the head and stuff and the kind of like bigger lower legs and whatnot. There's some strong Cyberverse hints there. But then I look at her hips and her general torso and her shoulders, and I'm like, I see a little bit of Titan's Return there. I see a little bit of like RID 2015 there. I see a little bit of the Prime Wars trilogy there. I see a little bit of the like original Generations one. So like, I don't think she's a bad Windblade. Apparently there's a feature with her thing in the back of her head that helps her to city speak. And Mark said he'll let you discover that yourself. I don't know what it means other than she can take it out and hold like her fan thing in her hand. I don't know if it does something else. Her sword is able to be like an exhaust. I guess that's okay. I think she's getting a bit of a bad rap. Some people have said like her proportion stuff seem off. If you know Cyberverse, not really. I don't know. I don't know. Like I have the Titans Return, and I don't feel like I need this one, but there's something oddly kind of drawing me to it. So I don't know. We'll see. When time goes on. I mean, the pre-orders that I've seen for this are not until like February, and I'm sure she'll be up before then. I'll wait and see. And threezero also showed up their deluxe, not their M deluxe, their deluxe. So this is the bigger one. This is the 11-inch one, not their great big premium 15-inch one. This is the 11-inch one. Deluxe Bumblebee movie, white Ultra Magnus. So it's the Optimus Prime done as a, in the white Ultra Magnus colors with the blue faceplate and stuff. Of course, they say here that it is the Bumblebee movie one because it's using their Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime mold, just doing it now in white. If you're okay with that as your Magnus, then cool. 53 points of articulations will be limited to 30 units. Going to be very, very rare, evidently. I don't know. I don't need it bad enough to go hunting for it personally, but I mean, maybe you do. I really don't know. Now, Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. I watched our buddy Ultra Megatronus do a live unboxing, and he explored them a little bit. And I've been saying all along that I'm very curious if this is a true blue commander class. And I always say, we as consumers have to hold companies, Hasbro and other companies for that matter, accountable to our buying dollars. Never ever let them dictate the market. The consumer dictates the market. Always has, always will. The only way a company gets a chance to dictate the market is if they're able to sucker consumers into their value proposition. So that brings us to Ultra Magnus. And I know that people have been gushing over it, and I think he's pretty cool too. Not going to lie. I've said I'm keeping my upgraded Combiner Wars because that works well and fine for me. Here are the numbers, thanks to Ultra Megatronus who helped me out with this. So first things first, just for context's sake, Jetfire, 652 grams, double that of a liter, which made sense because the commander price was, at least here, double that of a liter. Cool. Then we, went to Skylink, so it was like 900. And then we ended up going to the ones where they were separated, like Rodimus Prime, right? Was the mass still there? Because Rodimus got a back and a bunch of accessories, and then himself is kind of a Voyager, right? So is it there? Rodimus Prime clocked in at 619 grams. So a little bit lighter than Jetfire. But I said then, man, oh man. But I said then that I said then that the mass that was lost was made up for by the fact that he did have slather paint everywhere. And I did attribute some value to the engineering, right? And I said, I think the extra things that this brings to the table was just enough to allow it to be a true blue commander, but just barely. And I said in that review, we can't lose anything else. If we do, then it's no longer a commander. then it's Hasbro taking advantage of you or me or whoever. Then we get to Ultra Magnus. So my upgraded Combiner Wars, the regular, just stock Combiner Wars, that's 325 grams of plastic. My upgraded one with the Perfect Effect or the KO of the Perfect Effect Core Fighter, it was by KBB if I'm not mistaken. And the X2 Toys XT009 upgrade kit for like a new blaster and new arms, new hands and new legs, new feet and whatnot makes my Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus clocking at 479 grams. So he's certainly more than he was, but he's certainly not a commander. So where does the Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus come in? Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus with everything on him, all that's on him, clocks in at 542 grams of plastic. Less, significantly less, almost 100 grams less than, no, not almost 100, 42, 52, 62, 72, 82, 92, 212, say 75 grams less than Rodimus Prime, which I thought was shocking. I give credit where credit is due. It looks like there's a fair amount of paint on this Magnus, and there's a lot of ratchets. And I'll give credit that the engineering of the cab to collapse it the way that it does is impressive. I struggle to see this at a full Commander price. I've seen it on sale recently, both here and in the US. I think on Amazon in the US for 75 US. Here in Canada for, I think I saw for like 121, if I'm not mistaken. And that was like with an 8% discount on Amazon.ca. For $75, he's definitely worth that. He's worth more than that. But definitely worth $75. Here for 121, I would be more comfortable if he was 113 Canadian. I think if he was 113 Canadian, that's his ballpark. I think 135 Canadian, little much. Do I think he's an actual commander class? Yes, but I think that he's a commander class that if you can get him on sale, not for a lot, it doesn't need to be a big sale, just a slight sale, I think you'll be more happy because you're going to feel like you got more value for your dollar. Yeah, 542 grams compared to Rodimus Prime's 619 or Siege Skyfire, Jetfire, whatever, 652. Very interesting math. I think that he is still a commander. I think he's very impressive. But we have to be careful. We have to hold them accountable. We have to tell them you got to stop cutting. You got to stop cutting or you got to lower the price. We all have to do that. We all have to do that. Let's go over here. I'm going to check in with you guys. Then we'll go on again. How far up here do I have to go? Where am I? I think it was about right here. Guys, if I skip some stuff, I sincerely apologize. Man, oh man, this got to stop. She's doing better, comes home tomorrow. She has to have surgery Monday morning in Jackson. Well, I don't know where you live and I don't know where Jackson is, but you know what? I hope her surgery goes well for sure. Speaking of my OC, I used catgut to write my OC. What? Seeker Star Knight. What? Chat. Oh, you use ChatGPT to write your. I don't know what that is, but okay, cool. I want 3. Okay, 3 of the Seekers. I want 3 of the Seekers from the 4. Well, you got to get the 4-pack. They're not sold separately, dude. I guess maybe you could parts it with somebody or something if they only want part of it, but I don't know. Why would you repaint them in? Why would you repaint them into the Rainmakers, Blue? We have the Rainmakers. They're done in their proper Tetrajet alt modes. I mean, I guess you could, but I could see repainting it. maybe just make them seekers we don't have. We have rainmakers. Yeah, statues aren't my thing and too expensive. I agree. Yeah, 1,200, right? I consider myself a pretty hardcore Transformers fan, but $1,200 statue ain't gonna fly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, there's a good reason that you have a very limited number because this isn't really gonna sell. It's got to be a work of passion because it's not gonna be a work of a lot of profit. I gotta believe. Yeah. That's right. 30 seekers. $900. They want the male collectors to divorce their wives, right? Yeah, 1,200 for a statue. I mean, well, let's ask. Hey, Starscream wife, if I spent 1,200 American on a Prowl statue that was 86 centimeters tall, how would you react?
Poorly.
See? Poorly. Because sensible people don't spend 1,200 American on a statue. 1,200 for that should be illegal. I agree with you, no? Hey, Brian A. I would only get statues if I won the lotto. Fair enough. And like I've seen people that collect it, and they're like, I'll Google and Gaga over it, and cool. If that's your thing, man, cool. Bless you. And I look at it, I'm like, yeah, it's a neat statue. Moving on. Like I don't know. I guess I don't understand it. I suppose. I guess that's what it boils down. I guess I just don't understand it, right? More like a jungle, like deco for swoop. Maybe. Oh, hey, Waspinator, if I didn't say, buddy. Hey, Anthony. Starting to get really annoyed with store exclusives. I've been saying that for years, buddy. I said a long time ago that exclusive no longer means special. It just means annoying and frustrating. An entire wave of anime collectibles were different store exclusives. That's brutal. I hate when they do that stuff. It's definitely not for the fans. You're definitely not doing it for the fans. I had the RID 2015 one years ago. Never had the Cyberverse ones. There's almost no figures where I live. That's even sadder now. A 3mm port to what? A Titan? I don't know what you're talking about there. Outside of the backpack, I would think it's pretty good wind blade. I have the generation, so I'm good. That's fair. I mean, my oldest son has the generations. I have the Titans Return. So, I mean, I'm saying that she speaks to me. I think she's neat, but how could I justify it? We already got two. He has one and I have one. I don't really know how to justify it. I have the first version. Yeah, and that's fair. That's a great version of her. Great version of her. Never was in the film, so I have no idea why it was made. 1K is what you spend on your first car, right? Right? Well, it's not a little statue. I mean, it's 86 centimeters. I'm not sure what that is in inches off the top of my head. But I mean, it's a significant size, I suppose. But again, $1,200. Like, I'm sorry if I'm not spending in a month for 4 digits on my house. I can assure you, I'm not spending it on a statue. It's ludicrous and silly to even suggest it. Like, it's laughable to suggest it, actually, which was the same thing with Unicron. Like, again, that thing to Canada with the exchange rate and then shipping and then customs came out to be something like $1,300 or something. $1,100, $1,300, something ludicrous like that. No, it's not even good. It was a shell former. Like, I'm not spending $1,300 on a shell former just because it's bigger than the other things I got. And I get it. As I say that stuff, I get how silly it sounds because it is as silly as as it sounds coming out of my mouth. I had to buy each of the 3 in the wave from different stores: Amazon, Target, and Walmart. That's awful. I feel for you, man. I want all the wind blades because they're fembots, and we never get enough fembots. Yeah, but they're all the same character. So why are you getting all of the same character? Switch it up. Get them all. I don't know. I think we got lots of fembots. We got Alita. We got the rest of her crew, will say. We have Minerva. We have numerous slipstreams. We have Strong Arm. We have Arachnid. We have Black Arachnia. We have, I don't know, who else do we have? There's more than that. There's a lot more than that. Burnout. Burnout from the Velocitron series. She's a fembot. I don't know. I mean, get it if you want. I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, I think it looks pretty good, but I don't think getting more of the same character is getting more fembots. It's just the same character. But that's just me. You do you. Corporate man and designer have the pool of money with Executive and Simmons. Funny you mentioned that, Blue. Funny you mentioned that because all of them are going to come up in our trivia question tonight. Funny you mentioned that. 86 Magnus is magnificent. He feels a bit hefty in bot mode. I just went through the math, and magnificent is a strong word. He's okay. He's pretty good. That's what I'm going to say. He's okay. He's pretty good. I'm not going to say magnificent. And if you think he's magnificent, great. But he is the lightest of the commander classes we've had. That's the funny part. He stands taller, which is a little misleading, but he is the lightest. In terms of the amount of plastic they're giving you in exchange for your money, you're getting the least plastic that they've done for commander class yet, which sounds like a big deal, but I do give credit where credit is due. And I did say that I think he is a true commander class because I do think they pulled out all the stops for everything else. Now that I know the math and I know what mine is in comparison with the difference of, I don't know, well, again, 79, 89, 99, 9, 19, 29, 39, 39, 40, 41, 42. I mean, 63 grams in the difference. I'm to each their own. I'm just saying we can't let them cut any more from Commander. We have to stop it. We have to stop them cutting Commander class because it was set and now they're starting to erode it, and we just can't get them to do it, man. Let's see here. You have to remember there are blast effect part. No, I don't have to remember that. All of that 542 is everything in the package included. All of it, Joseph, all of it. There's nothing else. It's like when I talk about that hot rod and I say the 77 grams and people will say, yeah, but he has a matrix and he has blast effects. All of that's included. When I say 77 grams, that's with all of that. Same with Magnus. That's his blasters. That's his missiles. That's his blast effects. That's his 2 pistols. That's whatever's in the package. That's with him. All of it. There's an issue with stress marks, though. Oh, really? Tabbing in parts of the trailer causes some. Well, I haven't heard that, but I mean, I'm not really following it. That's a bit scary. So is the yellowing issue. Some of them look like they're turning a bit yellow, like up around the windows, and there's a hinge on the side. And a lot of people seem to be pointing it out. That's a problem. If you spend a commander class price on something and it turns yellow, listen, they had it with a piece of the gray that turned on Motor Master. And now if this is another one, they got to nip that problem or they got to switch factories or something again because it's affecting far too many and it's not stopping. That's the scary part. And they're going to destroy themselves at this rate. Let's go down here. Didn't buy Transformers anymore, so I don't have a clue. My local game and toy stores are selling 86 Blur, Sludge, RC, and some, if not most, of the Kingdom bots and Earthrise RC hover price. Yeah, I guess you could take a photo. I suppose they're all old, so. Yeah, no, Override. My Override doesn't have any yellow, and I haven't heard of any yellowing on Override. Actually, Survive Fan. So. Commander Junior class, yeah, kind of, right? Oh, that popped down there. That really popped down there. Oh my goodness. Where was that? Where was about here. Let's see. Magnus is more engineering. He has a bunch of ratchets. That's not engineering. That's molding. Having a bunch of ratchets isn't engineering. That's just molding. You're molding teeth into it. But come on, Jay, stop it. Stop it. Every time something new comes out, you justify it to the high hill. I love you, dude, but come on. They're giving you less. Have some pride as a consumer, man. I'm very concerned when people blindly keep buying stuff. I get very concerned because the audience is shrinking all the time, and Hasbro's having a really serious problem. How much of their product is not selling at MSRP? How do I know it's not selling at MSRP? Because Ollie's is buying it up from the big retailers. Ross is buying it up from the big retailers. And now in Canada, our dollar store, Dollarama, is starting to buy up unsold official Transformers. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know recently I've been doing KO Montoy Beast Wars Transformers that were $3 Canadian. I can tell you now, there are official Transformers Studio Series Transformers showing up at Dollarama for $4. Now, they were MSRP for $16.99, right, plus tax, $20. They didn't sell. And now somehow, as if by magic, Dollarama is able to make a profit by selling them for $4. Hasbro is aware of the problem of a lot of their product, not just Transformers, but they're the example I'm going to use here. A lot of their product not selling at MSRP and going to these discount places and stuff. And they have acknowledged that it's a problem. I don't know what they're going to do about it, but putting up prices ain't going to do it. And guess what? Keeping our prices high and making cuts that we can see, feel, know, and affect ain't going to fly because you're preying on fans being gullible, and we have to stop being gullible. I think, don't get me wrong, I think the new Magnus is great, but we have to be keenly aware. We can't be blinded by how cool he is. We have to be keenly aware of what we are actually being given for our money. That's my advice. That's my life advice. Not just for Transformers, for whatever you have in your life. If you're going to go and buy a new Keurig, make sure that that Keurig that you're spending the money on gives you as many cups of coffee out of it or more than the one you had before. If it doesn't, don't buy it. Very simple, unless it's cheaper. Let's go down here. Hey, Joel. Unless the statue's made of gold. Fair enough. If you compare him to the MP version and the scale with the other MP figures, you'll see he's actually just... What? I don't know what Triple R said. He actually survived. No, he's not just right. If you go by the Sunbow chart, on the Sunbow chart, he's not right. He's too big because he's supposed to be smaller than the Dinobots. He's supposed to be the exact same height as Rodimus and Springer. That said, I think that the 86 feels the right size and height. I think that when I see him with everybody else, the size that he is makes sense to me. I think he should be bigger. Even with my Combiner Wars, I acknowledge that like he's actually not the size he should be, but he feels the right size, so I'm cool with it. And it's the same thing with the 86. Like, while I don't know how much we can go on the Sunbow chart because it's the Sunbow chart, but going on that, I mean, it is what it is, right? Let's go down here. Mainline. I'm a mainline collector only. All I know is 86 Magnus is 1,000 times better than the Kingdom, hands down. Oh, yeah, but the Kingdom was a bit rough to begin with. Hey, Ash. Tony's Return Windblade is pretty awesome. I agree. When Kingdom Magnus was designed, some of the designs were high on narcotics. That's funny. The only way I'd spend more than 1,000 on Transformers would be a lot of Japanese G1s. Fair enough, I suppose. You could buy a lot of things with $1,200. Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. Razor Bear says, yeah, okay, 34 inches. So, like, he's big, right? 34 inches is a big robot. Shadow Striker. My Walmart has the Legacy Wave 1. Oh, yeah, I still got Legacy stuff rotting at Walmart here, too. But that isn't enough fembots. We need more. I agree. Combiner Wars Victorion. I don't know why you're questioning it. Yeah, but, oh, yeah, fembots. Yeah, all of Victorion. Mega Empress. All fembots. Yeah, good, good, good. We've done a Fem top 10 list. We've already done top 10 Fembots. That's find it. Look it up, I guess. I already did it. Crasher, yeah, another one. Combiner Wars Victorian with it was a Fembot. Yeah, as we go down here. Glad I could make it tonight after 3 weeks. Works rough, gotta go. Take care, Warren. I can understand the lesser amount of plastic he has an open trailer. Rodimus doesn't. Okay, well then they should have found a way to incorporate that plastic elsewhere. Why would they just cut it out and be like, oh yeah, we're going to charge you the same, but we're not giving you as much? Like, there's no excuse for it. You've set it. You should be doing it at 652. That's the value that you set. Sorry, I value my spending dollars, I guess. That's all I can say. Call me cheap, I suppose. I don't know. Problem is Skylynx is sold here for 130 euros. Bought Black Zarek for that money, and SS Magnus, it's going down again, is 100 euros. So he is cheaper than the full-size commander. Now, that's an interesting turn. Is it on sale, or is it just being sold cheaper? If it's being sold cheaper, then that's a very interesting turn of events as well. Legacy Motormaster here, also 120. It's getting expensive. Yeah, too expensive. The prices I named are pre-order prices for shops. And you know what? That's euros. Like, euros are high value. Like, they trade pretty high. If I'm not mistaken, I think a euro trades higher than the American dollar. And you're paying that sort of price? That's a problem, I think. He's 89. Yeah, he's 90 there. And I'd feel better with him as 80, honestly. Like, I don't think he's like a Voyager or a leader or something, but I'd feel better with him at 80. I think the 75, where he's on sale for 75, I think that's the sweet spot for him. I think that's the perfect right price for him. Hey, Fire Prime. Got Skylynx for 65 shipped. Woo! Good one, buddy. Ollie's has a ton of $40, $50 Transformers for 20 and under. That's right, because they're not selling for what Hasbro wants to try and sell them for. Leaders are near 60. You're right, and they shouldn't be. A leader should be 55 Canadian, 40 American. That's what a leader should be. I know these issues with the Velocitron Road Rocket, but I wouldn't mind one of her if the price was cheap enough. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I already talked about the Thrash and Prowl right at the very beginning of the show. Okay, let's go on, because we still got some news to do, and the time is slipping away on us, and I want to get done. Stretch Armstrong Bumblebee out in the U.S. was seen at a Walgreens in Boise, Idaho. So if you want to Stretch Armstrong Bumblebee, I don't know, start checking your Walgreens. We saw some, I want to call this a rumor, rough, that apparently came out of China Licensing Expo for Transformers 1. The guy drew a picture of Megatron and Optimus, he said, from memory. So I can't tell you how close that's going to be to the animation. I can't even tell you if this guy might be like an escape maniac or something, right? And then he's giving us false Transformers information. Or maybe he actually went to China Licensing Expo and he's trying to share what he remembered. Apparently, he said that Transformers 1 is going to explore the love, hate, and rivalry between Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Alita 1. And their journey to get a T-Cog. The chests initially are empty. There's nothing in there. They get the T-Cog, put them in, and then the designs of the chest change after. Throughout the latter half of the movie, they take on various alt modes and whatnot and kind of learn how to transform and learn how to have alt modes and change them and all that sort of cool stuff. So a lot of it is the hunt for the T-Cog, I guess. As well, we are introduced to Soundwave, Shockwave, and Starscream in this like teaser trailer that was done. Sentinel is blue. Alpha Trion looks like some sort of a hodgepodge of stone and plants. The guy said that he's never quite seen character designs and animation like this, which is interesting because, of course, this is the same film where Chris Hemsworth is going to be voicing Orion Pax Optimus Prime. Scarlett Johansson, who is Black Widow, right, from the Marvel Universe. She is going to be Elita 1, and she said that she's never seen anything quite like this. So I'm very interested to see how this will go. I think either it's going to flop tremendously or it's going to be a huge success. But it should at least visually be something very new and very exciting for us. We saw Silverbolt images. Looks great. His wings go down on his back as they should. His two little melee things, they're nice and painted, and they are fairly seamlessly attached to his wings. His lower legs, or his legs, will become the front legs in alt mode. His arms will become the back legs in alt mode. He's a little bit bigger than Black Arachnia. He looks great. He really, really looks great. It is. I love the original Silverbolt, but everything about this new one, man, I love it. We saw more pictures of the Frankenstein or Frankentron, Universal Monsters, Impactor mold that's used for Frankenstein. I mean, the Draculus was abysmal here. I mean, they tried to sell him for $85 and that didn't move. And he was everywhere. And then they slashed and they slashed and they slashed and they slashed to like, 70 and then 40 and then, no, sorry, then 50, then 40. Anyway, eventually he was sold for like $17.99 at Winners, which is like our version of TJ Maxx. And even then he sort of struggled because people were like, do I really need Mind Wipe as Dracula? However, I will say this. That is the price when he actually sold, $17.99. And funny enough, wouldn't you know that when Mind Wipe came out originally, he was $17.99. I'm telling you, you can only charge what people have already paid and know as the value. You can't all of a sudden take something that they know that they paid $18 for and try charging $85 for it because you gave it a new head and little fabric cape. Sorry, that doesn't add $60 in value. Come on. Come on. TFCon Orlando, Ocular Max is doing one of their cassette bots, namely Steeljaw, as a version of the Voltron Black line. It's going to sell for $70. So between the Black line from Ocular Max, between the Make Toys, Slipstream, I mean, a couple of pretty decent exclusives. Honestly, a couple of decent exclusives. I know a lot of people are already gone there, a lot of YouTubers and stuff. Hope they have a good con, I suppose. I don't know. I've never been there, so yeah, I can't really speak to it. But you know what? Hope they have a good time. And then we get to the last piece of news. And it relates to the Rise, which is the Transformers Reactivate 2-pack, and the other 2-pack that was mentioned. So the Reactivate 2-packs are slated to be officially revealed and pre-orders for November the 14th. Toys R Us Canada put up a listing for the first 2-pack that had Bumblebee and Starscream in it for basically $100. I know it's a deluxe at 5.5 inches and a Voyager, I would assume, at 6.5 inches. I feel like looking at the star. Let's do the Bumblebee first. I feel like the yellow is really too pale, not vibrant enough. I think the kind of off-road alt mode is sort of cool, and the robot mode is sort of neat. It's definitely a very different take on Bumblebee. Then we get to Starscream. I don't like it. I get that. I guess he's supposed to be repaired with a hodgepodge of bits and pieces and parts. That's why he has a black shoulder and like part of a black wing and stuff. But I don't think it works. He just looks like a mess to me. Actually, the Starscream looks like a better articulated version of the Authentics to me. And I'm like, not for me. If you're a huge fan of the game, it might be for you. Now, apparently Toys R Us probably made a mistake in putting it up early. And even the pictures have like packaging that says Rise, except it's not going to be Rise packaging. These were early pictures. The game, of course, now is Reactivate. So presumably, I guess, the packaging will shift to Reactivate packaging. However, the second 2-pack will consist of Optimus Prime and Soundwave. Now, Toys R Us does not have a current listing up on their website for this, and there's no actual orders apparently in for this one yet, but it is slated to be the other 2-pack that Hasbro mentioned. So there should be 2-packs. They're supposed to be pre-orderable on November the 14th. One will be Bumblebee and Starscream, and the other will be Soundwave and Optimus Prime. Very interesting. No Megatron here. So there you go. I'm going to give you guys the trivia, and then we're going to go through the unboxing here, and then we're going to get out of here. So the trivia tonight. In the Creator and the Corporate Man meet Simmons. Now, it's on my channel, it's on Lazy Eyebrow's channel, and it's even on the TF Reviewers channel. So it's around a lot of places. Who is the sole voice of reason? The only one who has the fans in mind, the only one who isn't motivated by money. Is the sole voice of reason A, the executive? Is it B, the corporate man? Is it C, the creator? Or is it D, good old Simmons? So who is the only voice of reason? The only one speaking for the fans? Is it creator? No, sorry. Is it executive, corporate man, creator, or Simmons? A, B, C, or D? Let's see what you guys said here. I'm only going to check in a little bit here. Just to try and, let's see. Yeah, you might not have been in here at the time, Survive fan. But you can always go back and watch the beginning of it after. Even though I'm not married, see my last comment for context. Okay. Value the dollar, to value house, wives, kids. I mean, you got to, this day, you got to value all your dollars. My friend lives in Idaho. I haven't seen him since his birthday before high school. I used to buy stuff in Europe, and the exchange really has gotten close these days. Wild. Thrash looks kind of bland. Thrash does look kind of bland. Honestly, I feel like this one looks less bland than the deluxe Thrash. Make of that what you will. But I agree with you. Hey, Ken. Just getting off work. Going to make the kids get fed. You do it up, buddy. Who has the gearhead? What? Who was the gearhead that came up with that plot? I don't know. Transformers that can't transform is called robot. Well, I guess we'll learn how they transform, right? Think they're homaging animated Sentinel Prime with that one. I agree with the blue. I wonder if they'll do a purple Universe 1.0 Silver Bolt. I think that they will do that as a Generation Selects. Fun fact about that. The only reason that exists is because the designer at the time wanted to use purple on something to cover the entire color palette and said, hey, let's take this one and make it purple. And that's what they did. And that's literally how that came about. I hope his wings can flip out over his shoulders. Me too, Jay. I feel like they're going to be really articulated. So I have hope for that. That's a not want bargain. Man, I wouldn't buy it even if it was a penny. That's fair. SS Fallen for $16.99 at Ross. Like, that's not $55. It's a great price for fans. I heard Lazy Eyebrow, what? Went, imagine you came. Lazy Eyebrow did go. Yeah, he has gone down. I think he's doing a customization class. Imagine you came to TFCon LA next year. Find me. I don't even have there's no way I could afford even the plane ticket to go there. It would be impossible. I'm not even going to lie. It would be impossible. Plus, I legally can't go there. I don't have a passport. Starscream looks like SS Bumblebee Blitzwing. He does. I thought that too. I was like, that's very Blitzwingy. And at first I was wondering, before I realized it was Rise, I was like, is that Blitzwing and Bumblebee movie Bumblebee or something? You're right. I agree. Okay, creator. Me. Creator. C. Yeah, it was creator. Absolutely was creator.
Did you open the box yet?
No, I'm doing it now.
I want to see.
Okay, it's our last thing, and then we're getting out of here.
Hurry up.
Okay, so first things first here, guys. Just as a treat, here is the limbless, horrific Mandroid again. Okay, I just want to show that. Okay, so here, this is from Starscream Wife for $4, because I've said I was never going to buy another of this character, and I certainly wasn't going to buy it for $20. But you know what? For $4, let's take a look at Studio Series Shockwave. I've actually heard good things about this guy, to be honest with you. So
I think he's cute.
conventions are very overrated. Went to 2010 BotCon and got bored very fast. Wouldn't know. Never been to one. She thinks he's cute. She also got me. This wasn't all that she got me. She also got me. I've seen these little things. These little like world's smallest micro bumblebee. Okay, micro bumblebee, which I knew existed. I don't know, but I might even have a micro bumblebee kicking around here somewhere, though I'm not sure where. However, I had no idea that there's also a micro RC that's apparently in a wave with Soundwave and Megatron. So now that I got the RC, I kind of want the Soundwave and Megatron, to be honest with you. So Starscream Wife got me those today. So I'm quite happy to have those. Got the 86 Frenzy. I want to know if Shockwave is the correct size for a combiner to hold. You know what? We'll find out. And then I got this box from Ultra Megatronus. I have not opened it yet at all because I've been very busy. But we're going to do it right now. Are you excited?
Yes. I'm curious.
I'm excited.
I'm never excited, but I'm always curious.
Okay. So we're. Oh, hold on. What? Bringing you toys. Buying you toys. She's a keeper. Buying you toys. She's a keeper. Yeah, that's true. She is. Oh, man.
Dude, you've signed the papers. I better be a keeper.
I always tell her I got tricked.
You can't bring me back now.
I always tell my wife that I was tricked and that she trapped me. Oh, I know what this is. You know what this is yet? You know?
Well,
Don't say
I
it,
can
but
read it.
oh yeah, okay. So Ultra Megatronus, I had been on two minds. I even asked you guys about this, but Ultra Megatronus sent me this. It is childhood trauma all over the place.
Cool.
I'm certainly going to review them. Will I hodgepodge bits and pieces to get a very ideal Ironhide and Prowl? We shall see as time goes. So a big thank you to Ultra Megatronus for the Dead Prowl. It's kind of fitting around Halloween, hey? The Dead Prowl and Ironhide pack. Surely he got it at a good price. This had to be a Ross find. And Starscream Wife for the 2 micros and for Studio Series Shockwave. What a great night it was. Anyway, one and all, I love you all. I'm going to get out of here and actually spend some time with my wife and enjoy the weekend. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button, baby, at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, please hit the subscribe button. Stick around, man. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there and you over there too, and even you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or of course the old fashioned way, right here inside the videos.